Playing against legends is always interesting. In the following game, I'm meeting Alexander Beliavsky. I remember in the 80s somewhere I've read that they called him Big Al. It was kind of funny because he's not very big, he's not very tall, but he was a giant, or is, and still is a very strong player. But he was a giant on chessboard. He was among top 5 in the world at some point. Was a serious contender for the world championship, and well, he lost to Kasparov, and it's the bad faith of a lot of players that they sort of were at the same time as Kasparov. Ivanchuk and is another one. You could you could, and Eslan and things like that. So anyway, this not Islam, sorry. Uh, I've played against him in the Bundesliga, and it's always funny. And I always try to play hard for a win when I meet these players like Timman and Korsnoy and Beliavsky and something, because then you have something to talk about, and you read about them when you were a kid, you were growing up, you try to be like them, and suddenly here you are sitting playing against them, which is always funny. By the way, he was a very friendly guy, Beliavsky, and he totally outplayed me. I felt like I had no chance at all in this game. And at that time, he was 51, so he's older than I am now, which kind of impressive. Is kind of impressive. But okay, a class can never really disappear. Maybe you become a little bit slower, not as sharp tactically, but understanding and so on is it will remain. So let's get on with it. It also contains some crucial information in the Archangelsk variation of the Rai Lopez opening. I am white and I play e4, which I played mostly. I also play d4, but I mostly play e4. And this is, of course, Rai Lopez or Spanish opening. And here he played b5, which is the Archangelsk variation. Black puts his bishop immediately on b7, and this the idea is to maybe play d5, but in general also to put the bishop on a very aggressive post here, having 2 bishops pointing towards the center and staying very active. This is the idea of this line. Also, bishop b7 immediately puts some pressure on the e4 square, which he can maybe take or something. The old main line was rook e1. I think nowadays the best move is d3, because black has placed his bishop here already without white having to play h3. So maybe white can leave that move out, and sometimes he can even leave rook e1 out and go for f4 immediately. So I think here this is supposed to be better for white. After something like bishop c5, white might play, I don't know, bishop g5, knight c3, or just c3, a4 maybe, I don't know. But the bishop here is placed a little bit premature here, also because it cannot oppose the bishop on this diagonal. And white will of course play maybe a3 and keeping that bishop alive. Like I said in an earlier video, the Spanish bishop must live. The Spanish bishops must live for white to have any kind of meaningful attack. If black is allowed something like this, then all white position just loses most of its perspective. Now, anyway, I was actually prepared for this, so I played c3, and this was supposed to be good for white at the time. It's the most sharp variation. Black simply has to take, otherwise white is just coming with d4, and it's coming with d4 anyway. And in this position, the only good move is knight a5, and defending the knight here and attacking this bishop. And then the line was recommended. I think it was in Anand's chess openings by Khalifman, was this move, and they said that after these moves, white, it does look a little better for white, but it's very, very difficult to exploit anything. Something like c4 just runs into f6, and there's no real good way forward for white, even though black's position looks a little bit clumsy. It's just fine for black. So, but I think Halliman recommended a4, putting pressure on this one and here. But to be honest, I don't believe in this anymore. Bishop e7, defending, rook e1 was also, it all looks very good. The problem for white here is that he is not having his white squared bishop, like I said earlier, and that without that it's not so easy to generate anything. And I think the theory ended here saying slightly better for white. And to be honest, I don't believe that. I think black has equalized and could even hope for more here. He does have the two bishops, and those bishops are strong. White also has some coordination problems, actually, as it turned out. It was hard to see because this looks very clumsy, I thought at the time. Anyway, I was impressed by Beliavsky's concentration. He seemed very concentrated throughout the game, never sort of letting go. And I remember I read an interview with him, I think in New in Chess or something, where he explained that he was very inspired by the Roman philosophers like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius and guys like that, the Stoics. And I like that too, but that was way later. I was not at the time. I don't think I even knew who they were. And I'm trying to sort of finish my development, and it looks kind of good. And here black is sort of, white has finished his development. Black has finished his development. The problem for me here is I don't really have a good move, to be honest. I was already a bit confused, and here I made probably a mistake. I should move my rook. I think black might play something like h6 or g6 or something, and bishop g7. He doesn't have any weaknesses. There's nothing to attack. But I'm trying to create some pressure. And I was told by the good Caliph that I was better. So when I play for an advantage, I play this move, which is maybe a mistake, because after this move, I'm already not so happy because I can't take it because of the rook here. And so I go back, and comes here very actively. Oops, I should definitely stay away from that square. And we see this is out of the game, and I can't take on c7 due to queen g5, and I'm in serious trouble. Serious trouble due to the pin. And also, for example, something like this is really not funny. And maybe this is coming to a place near you very soon. Not funny at all. So I moved back. He took here, and another very active move. And again, the problem is that taking with the bishop is queen g5, and I'm dead in the water. So I should probably take it, but I'm clearly already on the ropes here, and I don't really know what I did wrong. It just seemed he plays very, very energetically and precise. So I cover the rook, and here I was still hoping that maybe force d6 or something because of the threat here to the pawn. And I was very impressed with his move here. He just, well, after this move, I felt really outclassed, to be honest. I really felt, this is just, what a disaster. The threat is very simple. Let's keep doing that. Queen e4, hitting here, and all his pieces are covered. He's very active. So what a great move. Queen e8. Just I double attack this, and he just leaves it. That's kind of cool, by the way. So f3, and of course he just goes in, attacking the bishop, and the queen is getting into the kill zone, like we have talked a little bit about in attacking technique. And here I made this decisive mistake. I was already very low on time, and it's not funny, even though of course he was a better player. He had more than 100 rating points more than me at the time, and has been a world-class player. He was maybe 30 years. He was dominating. He was a leading figure in the world elite. Still, it's kind of annoying in a Bundesliga match where the team is depending on you. You're playing for match points, and you're just getting crushed with white. It's just, it's a disaster. And I felt terrible here. And I have to find knight b4 to stay in the game. I think it's the only place I can put in the knight where that doesn't lose immediately. Attacking the bishop, just getting rid of some firepower. Instead, I play knight c5, and well, he is taking here and not only winning a pawn, but also getting ready for this move with a mating attack. And there's not much to do about that, to be honest. I can't. He can take whatever. It doesn't matter. Knight d1, queen f2 check. Queen takes 8, f1 is coming. So I tried this move, and it's only 25 moves, and I'm already desperately low on time. Knight d1 coming, threatening to win a piece. Bishop d4 and bishop c4, trapping the knight. Of course, you could play knight here. Then maybe something like knight takes c3 or knight takes e3. And, well, I think this is probably already mating. It's threatening mate here, and it's threatening a mating attack here. And, well, it's all over. So after bishop c4, I resigned and congratulated Alexander on a great game. He didn't seem to get a much sweat on his forehead for this game, and this is what sometimes happens. But okay, it's always interesting to play against the legends, and he was already a leading figure in the world elite when I first went into a chess club. So I can take some comfort in that thought. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. This was TM Talks. Remember to like and subscribe if you want to keep this coming. Thank you for watching.